Good evening, everyone. Ads here from Unity Trading Group. How are we all on this Friday evening? Before I start, give us a like, hit the subscribe button if you can, and of course, tick the little bell to stay updated on all of our future content. Don't be afraid to share this, of course, if you know anyone who you think will benefit from these things we do here at UTG. Do not be afraid to share this video around, and of course all of our links can be found down below. You can see it in the banner just below the chart at the moment. So without further ado, BTC, where are we going, where have we been, and where are we going next? So BTC, we've really been looking around this level of supply, should I say. I was about to say supply, should I say. And we are pushing through this 37.5 level of supply now, where we did have that previous rejection off the back of the fundamental stuff that we saw earlier in the week. And it's looking like we've made a higher high. So, now we have a valid break of this level of supply, because I wouldn't call this one a valid break off the back of the tweets that we saw earlier on in the week, and of course last week as well. We saw some volatility in the markets, not so much BTC, but in general in any case. However, going back to this level of supply now, we are seeing this level broken and eaten away quite substantially. So the rules of supply and demand do state if we do see a substantial break in a level of supply, then we are looking towards the next one for our next level of resistance, which sits very nicely around that 40k mark. If you look to the left here, we've got a rejection once around the 15th of Jan this year, and of course if we do see the second one, it would be a nice rejection again and causing a double top scenario at that point. However, we could blast through it and start reaching new higher highs again. It remains to be seen. However, looking left, we are looking for the next level above us at 40k. One thing I want to put on the chart, however, is our gravy train indicator. It is in beta. We have just finished our public beta that we hosted in the Discord channel, which you can find the link down below for. But in any case, we are going to be seeing gravy train release very soon. So what it is, it's an indicator that we've spent about 18 to 19 months developing. It'll give you short signals, it'll give you long signals, and it'll give you points of reference, whether that be resistance for the red, whether that be support for the green. But it is a trending based indicator. It will tell you when to get into the markets and when to stay out. And currently we are pending green at the moment, and we are seeing these cloud levels line up quite nicely with our level of demand, and just recently with our level of supply, which we are pushing above and holding above at the moment. So we are getting a long signal or a buy signal off our gravy train indicator. Whether or not that'll come to fruition will be another thing entirely. But to give you a little bit more illustration of gravy train in general, if we zoom out to the daily time frame, we can see that it has been fairly accurate amongst this entire run to the upside. And of course, we are sitting in between the gray area now on this daily time frame, and that is a basic no trade zone. It is unsure of the following direction of the market, or it could also indicate a reversal, should I say that. It can indicate a change in direction from the previous direction, which was long. But we will see that a little bit more in real time on the lower time frame, so we'll stick to the 4-hour time frame at the moment. But in any case, just to recap, we have broken through this level of supply, seen here just to the left-hand side, of course, once, and now just recently with this price action. It would be in BTC's best interest, if I'm honest, to probably come back and retest this 38.2. Let our steamroller indicator, let the RSI come down and retest that 50 area, and of course the RSI come back down to the mean before a next movement up, so we don't become too overbought, and we would be susceptible to an even harsher snapback or a harsher pullback if we do continue to the upside relentlessly all the way to 40k from starting around the 33 mark. So that would be my play on BTC, currently looking for a movement down towards the 38 to really confirm our 40k movement for the next little bit. If we are to see BTC fall over, though, in this instance, if we are to see it come back down and start to continue its downtrend, of course, on the 4 hour, I'd be looking around that 34K mark, or our most relevant level of demand to really come to fruition if we're going to see that over the course of the next week or so. We usually have there's usually two things that happen on a weekend. We usually get sporadic price action. So we usually get a pump or a dump, or a valid movement to the upside or the downside, or we see nothing at all. So look, in any case, if we're looking at BTC in the history, we've slowly been walking up this level. It hasn't really pumped in the way that we're kind of used to for BTC. So if we walk just to the right hand side for this weekend coming into Monday, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. But in any case, we'll have a look and see if we are to break this 23.6 and continue to the 40K mark. That would validate the current level of supply, or the broken supply that we just spoke about. Anyway, moving on. Ethereum USD seeing new highs at the moment. We just recorded a high at 1695. Thereabouts, the actual high, 1695.8 was the high for Ethereum. So not a bad play, and we did see that level of demand be retested before a further move to the upside on the lower time frames. So if we are to see this trend continue, this 61.8, we were looking at the 27 a couple of days ago, and now we are looking up towards the 61.8. If we do get to this 1763 area, I'd be looking to draw my trend-based Fibonacci. If you haven't used trend-based Fibonacci before, head to our channel. You can click the link down the bottom for the channel, of course, and you look at the trend-based Fibonacci exercise that we did during our UTG show last month. But if we are to see Ethereum move to the upside, 1763 is where I'd be looking towards. But in saying that, we're really observing some downwards trending indicators. That's not so much coming to fruition on the chart, but we are seeing the indicators point to the downside. Of course, Steamroller is no exception to that. And of course, CCI is doing that as well, a little bit more up-to-date information on the CCI. It wouldn't surprise me to see the 50 RSI held, respected, and then be a cause to move up. Whether or not we break through this current level of demand that we've retested just previously here at 1560, I wouldn't think that would fall quite quickly, seeing that we have been respected quite nicely off that. But a further touch on this level might be on the cards before a 61.8. I could be wrong. I'm just saying this just to give us a little bit of caution, because we are seeing a downwards moving indicators at the moment. So that could be a play that you could look towards if you wanted to get in a quick scalp of Ethereum. However, in general sense, I'd be looking towards that 61.8. The most recent level of demand is the one we just bounced off. And of course, if I'm to draw in another one to really cover ourselves if we do get a further movement down, the next one I'd be looking towards is 1337. And we do have a slight pause in the market, which would be a retest of the previous high at 1450. So keeping that in mind if you're trading Ethereum. Full transparency, however, I've been in Ethereum for quite some time. As we have moved through and created a high in this instance, I've taken some money off the table, taken profits, should I say that. Always keeping it safe. If we do get a further movement down, I'd be looking to averaging in again, but I have been taking small snippets of profit over the course of the last couple of days on Ethereum, with still a substantial bag open, and we'll call it as we see it here at UTG. So keep an eye on the Discord. If you're not part of that, you can find the link down below. ADA USDT is another one that I've been trading personally. I've gotten a few requests for ADA and DOT, so we'll have a look at both. ADA, I've been given a request for Gravy Train as well, so that's what we're going to look at. Gravy Train's still nice in the green, nice in that long area. So we did break out of this 36 cent mark. It triggered the green cloud on our Gravy Train, gave us a couple of long signals as well for good measure, and we have been off to the races since then, and currently sitting on that 50. Full transparency again, I've taken some profit on ADA personally against the USDT pair. But if we're looking at levels of demand to really cool off this beast, we're looking at around that 44 cent mark. So we can see this come all the way back down to the 44 cent. That would give us a sideways moving cloud for our Gravy Train indicator as well. So that would line up quite nicely. Look, this is really comes down to if we are going to hold this negative 27 fib extension. Right now we are holding it on this current candle. Still 3 hours to go, however. So if we see some cooling off over the next couple of days, I guess you could say that over the weekend, I would be looking towards this previous high of 46, and of course for a better entry, looking at that 44 cent mark around demand. It's not financial advice, however. Do your own TA, come to your own conclusion, but these are the levels that I've been looking at, and 44 cent would be on my cards for another reassessment when we do get there, setting alerts if you're looking at your own chart. Next one I have a look at is DOT. DOT USDT is another one that I've been trading personally, keeping the gravy train indicator on for this one. So we had our previous high around $19, and that's coming to fruition now with the gravy train cloud there. And of course we have had a nice touch on the cloud, and of course a nice touch on our previous level of supply there as well for DOT. But again, a lot of these pairs are looking exactly the same, where we are seeing or observing these indicators trending to the downside on the RSI and CCI, and of course we are quite overbought on the steamroller indicator, which has netted good results in the past when we have been quite overbought, excuse me, and it has netted some form of a pullback nonetheless. So keeping that in mind when you're trading these two coins or trading altcoins in general. If you're long on an altcoin and you're in substantial profit, or you're in profit in general, and you're looking at a level of resistance, a significant level at that, whether it be a gravy train, whether it be a steamroller, whether it be a level of fibs, don't be afraid to take profit. You never go broke taking profit. And of course, it's always good for you to free up some capital. So if you wanted to, scalp this or swing trade it, you've got capital sitting on the sidelines ready to go, and it's in profit, so you've got more of it. Always good to keep that in mind. XRP is one that I want to look at again. So personally, I've been looking at the gravy train indicator and our level of previous supply, but not so much the supply, I'll get rid of it, but the gravy train indicator nonetheless. I've been looking at this level of gray area. So what you can do, it's not specifically designed for this, but I've done it before, looking at these levels of support. So we've got the green cloud down the bottom and the red cloud at the top. We've got a level of support and we've got a level of resistance. So I did buy a bag of XRP down here at around 30 cents. Not 30 cents, would have been about 36, 35 cents ish. I'd need to confirm that, but I did buy a bag nonetheless, and it has been moving to the upside since then. We've had this cloud twist to the downside and of course back to the upside, which is the yellow cloud inside. So I've been looking at these levels of resistance towards the top of us. We're just getting caught on this previous supply. However, if I get rid of this, looking like our 50 level lines up quite nicely with our previous liquidity or market structure there. So I'd be looking to take a little bit of profit there if we do get to that level, that key level on XRP. If you want to get your hands on Gravy Train, again, subscribe to the channel, jump into the Discord. There's going to be a lot of content coming out regarding this. We're going to teach you guys how to use it. We're going to teach you guys our strategies around Gravy Train. And of course, you can get your hands on it when we do release it later this month. But the last one I'll have a look at this evening, whoops, wrong one, going to Forex, the DXY. Let's turn Gravy Train off for this one. Looking at our level at 91.5. So what we did discuss over the last little bit, we've been seeing this expanding wedge formation, and we've been really talking about this over the last couple of updates that I've done this week. And looking through this level of supply, I said the next level that I'd be looking towards would be the 91.5. And of course, the DXY is a regulated market, so this is not financial advice, just ideas and opinions of us at UTG. But we are seeing this level at 91.5 come to fruition now with a decent pullback on the cards, if I'm not wrong. Honestly, we've seen a steamroller in particular be very accurate for the DXY, and so it should be. It is a regulated market. There is a lot of indicators, there is a lot of data, should I say, to go off. And it has been fairly accurate in the past, where we've got these bounces and we've got these rejections. So not expecting any different in this instance. If we are to see the DXY come down for a bit of a pullback, it would be clear to me to really retest this area. So if we're seeing it 91 even, we've got a lot of liquidity to the left-hand side. We've got a previous rejection here at this 91 area. And of course, we do have the bottom of our wedge, or, getting close to the bottom of that formation there as well. So looking okay for that area there to really give us our pullback for the DXY. Of course, we do have liquidity in between, but if I'm to say so myself, I do think 91, don't expect, but I do think 91 will be on the cards for the DXY for a little bit of a more substantial pullback, and it's 368 points away from that coming to fruition. So, and that would be a retest of the previous high, and I think that might be on the cards, especially looking at some of our indicators, Steamroller in particular, and of course RSI, CCI pointing in that direction too. But if you like what you saw tonight, give us a like, hit the subscribe button if you can. Look, share our content around if you do find it enjoyable, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful. Give our stuff a share. We're happy to take anyone. We're happy to talk to anyone. And of course, you can find us all in the Discord at any given time, whether it be during the week or on the weekend. I'm Ads from UTG. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.